But what about if it doesn't even stop transmission in the case that they're looking at with Pfizer's? They're trying to find out Should that have been mandated?
Look, the way that vaccines worked, from my understanding, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a doctor. People in my family are. So I trust their advice on how it works. Obviously, you're here without a mask. We're still alive. So something has happened, and it wasn't just our natural immunity.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No. We had to really move at the speed of science to really understand what is taking place in the market.
It's official. The European Public Prosecutor's Office is investigating how COVID-19 vaccines were acquired before being pumped into millions of arms of the German people. And I'm here in Berlin to find out what the locals think about just that.
Hier, look here, an mijn hands, en maar pops, en dan komt er hier wieder vor.
Berlin is the best city.
Humphrey here with Rebel News, standing at the lively Hackische Mark, which is located just outside of our modest Airbnb that my COVID tyranny busting colleagues and myself have been staying at. Now, we came all the way here from Canada and the UK to bring you important coverage of the big pharma pushing globalist event called the World Health Summit 2022, which is brought to the world in partnership with the WHO. We've done really good, important interviews there that you will want to check at rebelwho.com. And of course, we are asking that you continue to make this report that we're doing and more like it possible by donating what you can at rebelwho.com. But the reason I'm standing here today actually isn't about the summit directly anyways. Instead, it's about the Public Prosecution Office in Europe that is formally doing an investigation into the acquirement of COVID-19 vaccines for Europeans. They're investigating everything around how Europe came into agreement with pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer and Moderna. And this is all after you and I learned through Europe that Pfizer didn't even know if their COVID-19 vaccines were able to stop transmission before letting them get out to the world. Sorry to interrupt this, but you're watching this on YouTube. They censor the truth here. If you want to find the full uncensored report, you're going to have to open up the description and click on our link. It will take you to our website, and you can see the rest of this report. And you might as well check out some of the other platforms that are not censoring people in the future, like Rumble, for example, if you don't want to have interruptions to reports like this.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No. We had to really move at the speed of science to really understand what is taking place in the market.
You know, the other day I saw a meme that gave me a chuckle, but it really rings true. It reads that if my dog got 3 rabies vaccines in 1 year and still got rabies, I'd start asking questions. Well, there's one member of the European Parliament who's doing more than just asking questions. He's asking for actions. You may recognize him. His name is Miroslav Kolokusic, and he is the same MEP who had quite the choice words when Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, came to Europe to give a speech about democracy.
Stotine miliona građana diljem svijeta u posljednja 2 dana je putem društvenih mreža vidjelo odgovor direktora Pfizera na pitanje kolege Roba Rossa. Je li provedeno testiranje cjepiva na sprječavanje prijenosa virusa? Dobio je izravan odgovor. Nije provedeno. Dakle, uopće nije provedeno testiranje cjepiva na prijenos virusa. Nadalje, s obzirom da iz drugih dostupnih podataka, pogotovo podataka engleskog NHS-a, koji precizno vodi statistiku oboljelih, hospitaliziranih i umrlih prema takozvanom cijepnom statusu 1., 2., 3. i 4. doze i necijepljeni, nedvojbeno proizlazi da ne postoji razlika u zarazi, oboljevanju i umiranju od COVID-19 između takozvanih cijepljenih i necijepljenih građana. Slijedom toga, nužno je odmah raskinuti ugovor o nabavci daljnjih doza, jer su nam prodali lažna cjepiva. Zatražiti povrat dosad uplaćenih sredstava u iznosu od 2,5 milijarde eura, te pokrenuti kazneni progon protiv Pfizera i drugih. U suprotnom, i sami sudjelujemo u vršenju kaznenog djela nabavke i promoviranja lažnih lijekova, te uništenju proračuna Europske unije u visini od 71 milijarde eura. Ukoliko i za koliko se Ursula von der Leyen obvezala u ime svih nas platiti farmaceutima. Moje pitanje je kad ćete raskinuti ugovor? Hvala.
Did you know that recently it came out that Pfizer didn't even know if their vaccine stopped transmission before it went out to millions, if not billions of people?
Don't say that. I did the Pfizer.
The truth. Well,
I
it's
never know.
you did the Pfizer.
I really don't care about that.
Now Germany is investigating the contracts and things like that involved with how you guys came into agreement with Pfizer and Moderna. They want to have a closer look after the news came out that Pfizer didn't actually check to verify whether or not their vaccine stopped transmission before it came out. What's your thoughts on that?
In facing a global pandemic, that we had an mRNA vaccine candidate that was developed by Turkish immigrants in Germany was a pretty profound development. That you had simultaneous development happening that concurred with that research model in other countries showed that the science is winning. And so that to me gave me a lot of confidence. Look, at the beginning of any pandemic, any kind of new attack on the immune system, science isn't a solution. Science is a process. Science is a way of understanding what the answers or the best possible answers might be. So I think it's fine. Science just asks, tell us how we're wrong, challenge us. And so if it was wrong at the beginning, I think that's an acceptable question to ask.
I think it's better to try and to find everything we can, because we are not young people and we want to try everything. We don't want to be ill.
So what do you think, knowing that now that you had the Pfizer and they weren't sure if it worked in that area?
With me, I took the Pfizer shots, but all fine right till now. So it's okay. It's a Berlin. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Never know. It's a Berlin.
There's currently an investigation going on after that news came out. You mentioned some friends that didn't want to get it. What do you think about mandates that were telling people they basically had to do it for certain reasons?
I think German government tried that before, but they failed in this to mandation, because people are against of this vaccination, because you cannot put the unknown vaccine, like unknown antibiotics in certain people's body. It's against the law.
Do you think it's surprising that people have come from all over the world to Berlin, which is being described as the hub for global health, basically? But they're not talking about, at these meetings, they're not talking about maybe lockdowns or vaccine mandates. They're not mentioning any of that. They're just talking about more vaccines and more things to do. Does that surprise you, or?
No, I think right now the conditions are really getting better. But we follow the rules. Like as an outsider, I follow the rule that to wear a mask, to keep a distance, and I think because Berlin is lots of filled with the outsider people, so I think it's gonna be good in the future too.
If that's the case, what about vaccine mandates? Did you guys have that here? I believe you did. And what does that mean if science is always something we're still evolving?
You travel internationally, right? Have you ever been to Asia?
No,
Do you know
personally,
what a yellow card is?
Is it part of their social credit system?
Has nothing to do. It has to do with you need to have vaccinations to go to certain countries because they have malaria, because they have other pandemics or other things that can kill you. So if you want to go to Nigeria, you've got to be vaccinated against certain diseases. If you want to go to Southeast Asia, you have to be vaccinated against it. These things have existed for dozens, hundreds of years. It's not anything new.
Yeah, you're right. Even some schools have vaccination policies. But what about if it doesn't even stop transmission in the case that they're looking at with Pfizer's? They're trying to find out that out. Should that have been mandated?
Look, so, I mean, the way that vaccines worked, from my understanding, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a doctor. People in my family are. So I trust their advice on how it works. Obviously, you're here without a mask. We're still alive. So something has happened, and it wasn't just our natural immunity.
Well, it's clear that people have come here from all across the world, just like they are to go to the World Health Summit 2022. That's the summit we are covering like no other news source, and you can find out full reports and important information at our special website dedicated to that at rebelwho.com. And please, if you can, please chip in what you can to support our independent journalism.